Well, saying that Kamala Harris had a bad week is like saying the Titanic had a leak.
What?
From the shitty interviews
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
to the no bounce in the DNC convention. And of course, there's Tampon Tim. We take a look back at the week there was and laugh. I know I will.
Reports to say that you have the lowest approval rating of any vice president.
That is true.
I'm Jazz Berganzo and this.
Polls that also say I have great approval ratings.
It's What's Next. Hey, happy weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Jazz Berganzo, What's Next? Your daily dose, common sense, facts, and salt. Hope you guys are feeling good today. And of course, as I said, this is the weekend edition. Kamala Harris. We look back at this wonderful masterpiece theater of a week. From her shitty and disastrous CNN interview, her constant word salts, to no bounce at the DNC convention. And then, of course, she wrapped it up by trashing 13 Gold Star family members. And the hits, they keep on coming. And I love it. This, coming from Breitbart, John Nolte. Kamala closes an already disastrous week by trashing Gold Star families. Incumbent Vice President Kamala Harris closing out what was already a terrible week with a desperate flail trashing 13 Gold Star families that blew up spectacularly in her stupid, incompetent face. First, let's review the last 7 days. Last week, Kamala Harris is running a terrible presidential campaign. After 6 of the best weeks of any presidential candidate has ever enjoyed, 6 weeks filled with billions and billions of dollars of free corporate media, cheerleading, and propaganda, it fell apart at the DNC convention. No post-convention bounce. A country gripped by the cruelty of record inflation, overseas wars, violent crime, southern border pouring into the horrors of third world country, into once idyllic places like Aurora, Colorado, America was looking for an answer, a vision, an idea of where the next president planned where they were going to take us. Instead, Kamala delivered a policy-free pablum, empty rhetoric, a hate-filled campaign against Trump, and happy talk. The result, plenty of spooging from gerbils like CNN's Jake Tapper, but no post-convention bounce. In Real Clear Politics average poll national polls, on the last day of her convention, Kamala enjoyed a national lead of 1.7 over Trump. Means nothing. After, 1.8 means nothing. This time, when Hillary Clinton, at this point of the game, had a 4.9. Barring some unforeseen event, which is always possible, Kamala has peaked. Her peak is a statistical tie, and the polls always underestimate Trump's strength. Losing the debate, she started. The rules for next week's presidential debate between Harris and Trump were all set and agreed upon. Then, for whatever dumb reason, Kamala launched a bizarre week-long whining spree to change the rules. Not only did it make her look weak, she lost a fight she started, and this made her look like, well, she is incompetent. McDonald's Gate. A big part of Kamala's drive to create a myth around her political rise involves a repeated claim that she worked at McDonald's when she was in college. Thus far, no amount of reporting is able to validate her employment at McDonald's. If Kamala did lie, this is not something that corporate media can weasel her out of as they did with Tim Walz's stolen valor. She either did or she didn't. The CNN interview. Kamala had 6 weeks of prep. She had Obama's A team prepping her. She had a sycophantic interview in CNN's hideous Dana Bash. She also had a sycophantic network desperate to make her look good, and Kamala still blew it. Incredibly, she had no answer for what she was going to do at President Day 1. She had no answer for the flip-flops. She looked diminished, unsure of herself, above all, unpresidential. The optics of the interview, the dark warehouse look was bad enough. Kamala looked like a little kid finally allowed to sit at the grown-up table. Her decision to bring a running mate, Tim Stolen Valor Waltz, also made her look especially weak. Then, Kamala's interview was a disaster when, here comes Mr. Fact Checker. On 3 different occasions, the open border, outlaw private insurance, defund the police, free healthcare for illegals, ban fracking. San Francisco radically stupid told the world, my values haven't changed. Within hours, on now firing all cylinders, Trump campaign used the statement to launch one devastating meme after the other. Those stupid words will haunt her straight through November. Above all, Kamala stepped right into Trump's campaign narrative that she cannot handle the pressure of going off script. That's a fact. And then on Saturday afternoon came the big finale. Kamala trashes 13 Gold Star family members. Kamala'S insanely stupid and cruel Saturday afternoon tweet accusing 13 Gold Star families of agreeing to act as props so Trump could politicize the death of their loved ones is unquestionably the act of desperation. And of course, they're scared because they looked at the internal poll numbers. Hoping to change the narrative on Sunday shows her away from a disastrous CNN interview. In the history of unforeseen presidential campaign errors, this one's a doozy. Kamala Harris's ex-post. As Vice President, I've had the privilege of visiting Arlington National Cemetery several times. It's a solemn place, a place where we come together to honor America's heroes who have made the ultimate sacrifice in service of the nation. So far, so good. It's not a place for politics. And then it went south. And yet, as reported this week, Trump's team chose to film a video there, resulting in altercation with the cemetery staff. Let me be clear. The former president disrespected sacred ground, all for the sake of a political stunt. There's nothing new here for Donald Trump. This is a man who has called out fallen service members, suckers, and losers, and disparaged Medal of Honor recipients. A man who, during a previous visit to the cemetery, reportedly said that fallen service members, I don't get it. What's in it for them? This is a man who is unable to comprehend anything other than service to himself. If there's one thing on which we Americans can all agree, is that our veterans, military families, and service members should be honored, never disparaged, treated with nothing less than a highest respect and gratitude. And it's my belief that someone who cannot meet this standard, sacred duty, should never be again stand behind the seal of the President of the United States of America. I will always honor the service and sacrifice of America's fallen heroes who have made the ultimate sacrifice on behalf of our beloved nation, of our cherished freedoms. I mourn them and salute them, and I will never politicize them without politicizing them. That is a tweet of an act of a drowning campaign looking for any kind of a life preserver. Kamala has bragged about her being the last one in the room when the calamitous decision was made to surrender Afghanistan and terrorists before all our people and billions of dollars of weaponry had been removed. That's why 13 men and women died. Those 13 Marines. Remember them? Worse all, according to the 13 families, neither Biden nor Kamala ever reached out to any one of them, not even to offer their condolences. We all know why. These 13 heroes died needlessly due to Biden's and Kamala's dreadful judgment, and now Kamala wants their inconvenient memory forgotten, memory hold, discarded, like Vegas. Naturally, the craven corporate media has done everything to aid and abet this moral crime. But, Breitbart News, Kamala, we've been treated with utmost respect, compassion, and understanding by President Trump, something you and Joe refuse to do. President Trump has been there for every step of the way, and they've invited him to share their anniversary visit to Arlington. They asked that this solemn moment be photographed as a tribute. They also said they invited Biden and Harris to attend the Arlington, and they never received a reply. Shocker. Nevertheless, Saturday afternoon, after what seemed to be an honorary truce between 13 families and Harris' campaign, a desperate Kamala looked at her falling poll numbers and broke the truce by smearing these families with false claims that they had visited Arlington as a political stunt. These families quickly, righteously fired back with the kind of raw intensity that hits like 1,000 suns. And here's just a small taste. One of them.
Vice President Harris, my name is Christy Shamblin. My daughter-in-law, Sergeant Nicole Leanne G., was killed in the Afghanistan exit at Abbey Gate on August 26, 2021. This year, for the third-year anniversary of her murder, we welcome President Donald J. Trump to Arlington to lay a wreath on the tomb of the unknown soldier with our family and to visit Nicole graveside. President Trump and his team were respectful. They listened to our stories and didn't talk much at all.
Another.
My name is Coral Doolittle. I am Corporal Humberto Sanchez's mother. This is my statement of what happened on August 26, 2024. My son is not buried in Arlington, but I really feel like when President Trump went and paid tribute and paid his respect in Arlington for our kids, it was not just the ones buried in there. It was for all of our kids, and it was an invitation that the families actually extend to him, and it's not the first time that he actually meet with us and share time and with our families.
Another from Mark Schmitz, Gold Star father Lance Corporal Jared Schmitz.
This is Mark Schmitz, Gold Star father of Marine Lance Corporal Jared Schmitz. Here we are on a beautiful holiday weekend day. I gotta stop what I'm doing, spending time with what's left of my family, to address a heinous, vile, and disgusting post put out by Kamala Harris.
As we've already seen through the decades, American voters are willing to forgive a presidential candidate for almost anything. Lies, infidelities, scandals, mistakes. What they will not tolerate is incompetency. Trashing Gold Star families is immoral, but it's also incompetent as it gets. My thoughts. God bless their families. God bless every single man and woman who is buried at Arlington. They gave up blood, sweat, tears, and their lives in honoring and servicing the United States of America in the military. So I salute you guys. But I'm not surprised that Kamala would act this way. I'm not surprised that the Harris camp would do this. Then again, when during the 4 years did you ever see dementia show up? Oh, that's right. There was that one that it might have been right after Afghanistan, where he was standing there with his head bowed. And of course, Dr. Jill was with him. And he looked at his watch like, I've got somewhere better to be than here. That alone should tell you all you need to know. But then again, Kamala Harris's response to make this a political stunt, to politicize it when it really wasn't. It was out of respect. And I believe that wholeheartedly that Donald Trump showed up out of respect for their families. Has he made mistakes in the past in regards to commenting on the military? Absolutely. Absolutely. But at the end of the day, it's what have you done for me lately? And Donald Trump showed the respect and honor that all these fallen service members deserve. And Kamala and Dementia Joe, guys are total assholes, man. Total assholes. But then again, it's been a great week, hasn't it? With that being said, I'm Jazz Borganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share, subscribe to it, hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. Continue spreading the word about the show. Appreciate you guys watching as always, and we'll see you next time. Peace.